Hey there! Today we're going to be going over finding inspiration for your website design. Now, this can be in terms of look or functionality. So, I'm going back to my wireframes, and I know that I thought today I was going to be doing the actual design, but it turns out I forgot this portion. So, it's very important that I gather some inspiration so that I have direction when it comes terms to designing this. So I pulled their logo, the Once Upon a Time. I think that that could be kind of fun to play off of their little fairy tale type font that they have here. And then again, their logo, because that has some other colors in it, as well as I think it plays into their whole royal theme that they have going on. So I'm just gonna bring in some pictures from their website. Definitely want to capture their llamas in their um, crowns and as well as the castle. So again, pulling those in and looking for anything else. I saw that they were using this image on Facebook, so I'm going to go ahead and pull it in there as well. It might be a nice place to interject a little bit more color on the website if they're using it in other places. And now I'm looking around to see the age group of people that are in their photos. You know, is it more children? Then we can definitely play off of the color. If it's older people, maybe it does need to have that sophistication. So just trying to get an idea of who their target audience might be. Next, I'm going to go look through a few sites, Pinterest, Dribble, Behance, awards with multiple W's. All have some great examples of website, again, in terms of functionality or just design in itself. There are a few sites, more like awards, Dribble, and Behance, where the design might be a little, they might stretch the design a little bit more. It might be a little bit more creative thinking. And here we still want something that's practical. I'm also looking for maybe royal websites, and I found these antique mirrors that house the images, and I immediately love this idea for the llamas themselves because I was thinking about putting them in round frames, and I think that whether it's round or rectangular, I definitely want to incorporate these frames. That would be really fun. So after looking around a little bit more, I didn't want to go like too formal, too dark. So I found these other bright, colorful websites, and I was like, it might actually be a nice contrast to have the bright, colorful blocks of color with the frames that might offer some nice contrast instead of this very formal, sophisticated look. So I think that that's going to be something that I'm trying to play into. So right now I'm going to try building that color palette that I want to use. I definitely want to incorporate the green because they have it throughout their site. But I'm taking definitely some liberties with this site. In terms of like branding because there's not a lot established. So taking those liberties and trying to play with the colors to get something that's like bright, colorful, it pops against that very antique mirror or frame. The orange definitely surprised me in terms of liking it. And then I originally wanted some purple because that's what is in this shield logo. Um, I forgot what those are called, but I ended up really liking this orange. So that might be something that I play around with. Now, these colors could change a little bit. I didn't check them, but when we get into the actual design portion, obviously the way that they play and sit together, that's why I have the overlapping mirrors kind of, they could change a little bit because I'm going to check them in the accessibility checker. And here I've duplicated that palette and I'm just trying to see what a purple would look like instead. Ultimately, I do like the orange a lot better. Um, I don't know why right now, but I'm just gravitating towards it. So I'm gonna keep that, and we'll have the purple as a backup. Now I'm gonna go into the fonts. Definitely want to do a serif font. I didn't check the font that their logo is in, but I should have done that. I did check what their body copy was in, and I'm going to go ahead and change that here. I did need to go and download the font, so just bear with me while I do that. But one thing that I noticed about this font is there was a lot of variation in the weight. So the thick points are really thick and then the thin points are really thin. And sometimes that makes it a little bit harder to read. So I think I'm going to go in and see if I can find a different font that maybe is a little bit easier to read on the eyes. Initially, I was checking to see if I could find the font just by eyeing it that their logo is in, and I did not. But I can look that up later. Ultimately, I chose Laura. It's a very nice font. It still has the variation in weight, but not a lot, so it's a lot easier to read. If I left the old font up, we could see that comparison, but I did not do that. And so now I'm just trying to find a sans serif to pair it with. I'm going to definitely utilize this serif font for headlines and maybe some other things, but want a nice sans serif font. To me, I'm looking for something that has a similar A to the A in Sangrill. I found about four different fonts that were contenders, but I'm going with Lato here. I feel like it mimics the shape and geometry of the serif font while still being a sans serif. Now I'm just going through and pulling out the colors that they have on their current site so I can compare it to what I've come up with, and here you can see that. Join me next time as we implement this inspirational board into our design. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful day.